So now I want to talk about your launch goals because, as the saying goes, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. So product launch formula it can serve a lot of things in your business. It can build your business quickly, but depending on exactly what you want out of your launch, then it's going to alter your strategy going forward. So you can't create a great strategy until you figure out where you want to go. Okay, so this is the first question that I ask my private clients. What do you want to get out of your launch? One of my favorite questions is, what's a home run for you? And you have to know this before you can design your strategy. And you can have more than one goal. You can have a primary goal and you can also have secondary goals. And those goals will definitely impact what you do in your launch, what your launch strategy is. So there's two uber big goals that sort of they well, let me just get right to them. They tend to be the two forks in the road. And one of them is money. And a lot of people just assume that a launch is always about money, but it's not always the case. But if it is about money, then that's awesome. And I have definitely done launches that were about the money. It's like I needed to make some money. I need to bring in some money. As we get deeper in the course, I'll share with you a quick launch where I got a tax bill and I wanted to make the money to pay the tax bill. I had another launch where I wanted to finish the basement. So I did a launch to finish the basement. And then I had another launch that, frankly, was to give me the down payment for the house that I'm living in right now. So if it's about the money for you, and certainly for a long time it was about the money for me, I was just trying to support my family and create a better lifestyle for my family and allow my wife to come home and be with the kids more. So it's fine if it's about the money. And if it is, then own it. Say, yeah, I want to make X number of dollars. Or I'm just in this. I need to make this money to get this goal. So that is fine. Now, a lot of launches fit into what I call the save the world category. And this is where it's really not so much about the money. They just really want to get their work out in the world. They want to help people. They want to make an impact. Lots and lots of PLF launches fall in this category. If and when you come to PLF Live, the thing you're going to walk in there, you're going to think this is just all about marketing, 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 and we give you lots of great marketing, but you're going to meet a lot of people in there that are doing some amazing world-changing things. So a lot of launches fall into the Save the World category. One important thing is this doesn't preclude making money. The thing is it's hard to save the world if you don't have the money. And really, you end up everyone, a lot of times they start off with, I want to make the money, and then they move towards purpose. They want to have a greater purpose. They want to save the world. But the reality is you need the money both ways. And usually when people, even if they are just about the money, often they will evolve more towards purpose once they get their financial freedom and their time freedom. And just remember, it's a lot easier to save the world if you can fund your mission. But it's just real clear. I just want to be really clear that we've got people going through Product Launch Formulator in both of these categories, and they're both fine. And you deciding where you fit right now for this next launch you're working on will help you nail down your strategy. So those aren't the only launch goals that are out there. Your launch could be about building proof or building social proof. Years ago, I rolled out this program called Product Launch Manager, and it was about teaching people how to run launches for other people, how to be product launch managers. And I did that. It was great. We did a great big launch that the world saw. But first, I did an internal launch, and that internal launch wasn't really about making money. It was about building proof and building social proof. It was about training a small core group of product launch managers and having them be successful and having them go through a very high-end exclusive training, and then I could use the proof of their success and the social proof of how that program sold out at a very high price, and I could use that to roll out my not my higher end program, but my bigger program. So first I ran the program just for 50 people, and then I came out and I rolled it out as a bigger home study course for hundreds of people. And it was very, very effective. So that first launch was just about building proof and social proof. Another launch goal might be you might just do a launch just to attract joint venture partners and affiliates. So you build a great conversion machine with your internal launch, and then you can take those stats, those metrics, and share them with partners and share them with potential affiliates. So it could be just to attract partners and affiliates. It could be to create a product. That's really what the seed launch is all about, is about creating a product. So when you first do a seed launch, you're not going to make a ton of money on a seed launch. You can make thousands, you might even make 10 or 20,000, but it's not going to be, the launch that's going to, set you up for life. But it does allow you to create a product and create your first list. It's also great for building your list. You might do a launch that is specifically just around building either your client list or your prospect list or both. And we're going to be getting into all this as we go through the program, but I'm just giving you different potential goals for your launch. Another one could be just to gather data. You can really gather all kinds of great market data, figure out what the best squeeze pages and the headlines in the offer. You can use your comments to help with your offers and copy. And in fact, you will, no matter what kind of launch you do, no matter what your launch goals are, you are going to gather all kinds of data, and you're going to learn an amazing amount that first time you go through a launch. This is that launch conversation. When you see what people are reacting to, then it helps you plan out your squeeze pages and the offers on your squeeze page, your opt-in pages. It helps you get your headline copy right. It helps you figure out what your offer is. And there's lots of other reasons. The thing is Product Launch Formula is great for creating influence and influencing other people. And almost no matter what kind of influence you want to create, you can design a launch to do that for you. So Will Hamilton with Fuzzy Yellow Balls, it's a tennis instruction site, and he did this deal with a couple of top tier pros. These are really world famous professional tennis players, and he was going to do a training product with them. And they created the product, and he went to launch it, and he just wanted to make sure that one launch for those two players was a home run, because he knew if he did really well for them, they would tell all their other friends, the other professional players, and he would be able to do that type of product with other players as well. And so he designed a launch where he just went all out. In fact, the bonuses he gave were just over the top. They were like some of his best products up until that point. And he was willing to just go all out and spend every bit of sort of relationship capital he had just for that one launch with those two players, just because he knew if he hit a home run for them, then it would help him get more top players to work with. And that's what he did. He designed the launch that way, and it worked that way, and he got exactly what he wanted. In fact, it led to a deal with a former #1 player in the world, creating a product with him. Another launch was I had a PLF owner who he was selling a CRM package, a customer relationship package, and he was selling it to Fortune 500 companies. And these are really big decisions involving whole committees that it's just a weeks or months long decision making process, and no one's going to buy this huge CRM system for a huge company off of a buy it now button off of a launch video. That's just not the way those decisions are made. But he used PLF, and he did a launch for each company just to get in the door to be able to make a presentation to them. And it was enormously successful. This is an example of a launch that wasn't even selling anything. The end goal of the launch was just to get the appointment to go in and make a presentation to that company. But again, you need to know what your goals are before you design the strategy. So what you want to do is you just want to get clear on what am I looking for from this launch, not for 5 years from now, but in this launch, this first launch that I want to do, what am I looking for? What are my launch goals?